guys, what's going on? We're at Contamination 2012, and I'm with the legendary Ari from Friday the 13th. Honor and a pleasure, sir.
Hey, John Fears.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Question one. Now,
I am Ari Lehman, the first Jason Voorhees.
Yes. Now, question one. How old were you when you shot the movie, and how did you get the project?
Oh, well, I was 13, 14 years old. It's very interesting because probably just nearby here is the man who played Chewbacca himself. And when I was a young man, my father took me to see Star Wars.
Legendary film.
In Times Square, New York. And it was the first day, I think, and he had already gotten the tickets. And wow, what a great dad. He brought me to the front of the line, and we just walked right in. We had the tickets, and wow. I saw it 9 times.
Wow.
As a kid,
That's awesome.
That was a big commitment in those days.
I don't know how many times I've seen it, but yeah.
Oh, these guys, to me, I really felt that they transcended, it wasn't about films. Wow, I can't, goosebumps. But so I said, I gotta be in movies. So I found out that there was going to be an audition in the town that I was living in called Westport, Connecticut.
Okay.
And Sean Cunningham lived in that town.
Gotcha.
And he was having an audition. Now, he had made a movie that was kind of a Bad News Bears kind of movie called Here Come the Tigers.
And that's a comedy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Baseball. Then he made one about soccer. And now I was a good little soccer.
Gotcha.
So my buddy said, hey, you should come audition. You like acting. I was like, oh. So I went in there. I had like a clipboard. I just went in there like, hey, where's the audition? And they're like, it's upstairs. I'm like, okay. And then I ran upstairs and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. But I just,
So you were acting before you even got the audition. That's commitment. That's awesome.
I snuck in there,
and
man.
You won the audition.
Well, they gave me a script, and then they said, okay, we'll give you this role of Roger in this film, who was kind of this little pervert kid who was into, we had like a Playboy magazine all the time. He was like, anyway, so we had a lot of fun making that movie, and then it didn't go anywhere because nobody cared about soccer, and even, it was a good film. People should look out for this film. Mm-hmm. And the New York Cosmos were in this movie.
Oh wow!
It was like big. They went and filmed it in the Cosmos Stadium and everything.
That's awesome.
It was huge, but still no go. So Sean Cunningham is like, oh my god. So he saw the success of Halloween, and
there it is.
Halloween, and he said, I've got an idea. Friday the 13th. So he said, okay, Friday the 13th. Victor Miller, think of an idea. Victor Miller thought of an idea about a summer camp.
And at summer camp, you got booze, marijuana, sex, and drugs. And there it is.
A lot of really cool elements. And then they needed a kid who was in the lake. Okay, so now, first they offered it to Noel Cunningham.
Okay.
And his mom said no. So then Steve Miner, who's the producer, said, hey, what about Ari? Remember Ari? He's little. He might want to do it. So they called me up and they said, hey, it's Sean Cunningham. He called me himself. I'm down at the office. We want you to come down. I said, great. We have a part for you. Can you swim? And I said, yeah, sure, I can swim.
Now, did you just say that just to say it, or did you really know how to swim?
Oh, no, I was a really good swimmer.
Okay.
I lived in Westport, Connecticut, if anyone knows. It's right by the Long Island Sound. No one would know that. So it's right by the Long Island Sound. So I was always in the water, and even in cold water. As you can see, it was autumn in this scene. It was autumn, and
now, how long of a makeup process was that each day?
Well, the whole thing took 4 weeks first, working with Tom Savini. 4 weeks of, putting wild madcap introduction to that whole world of special effects, and being in his studio where there'd be, severed heads and, limbs and, different blood squids.
But it was a lot of makeup then. So how long did the makeup process take?
Oh yes, well that took 4 hours every time.
Oh wow.
Sure. So if the call was was for 7:30. We had to be on the set at 3:30.
Wow.
So, you know, it was a challenge. I realized that movie making was you know, just like any other job that you had to be serious about. But also, it was a serious amount of fun. And so we would, you know, just the whole experience of making the mask, and that was a great thing working with Tom Savini.
And he's a legendary guy.
Yeah, that's why I have a mustache.
Oh yeah. Last question. When you were making the movie, the last scene, we were talking about this before. How many takes did it take to get the right one?
Oh, right on. See what happened here was, I can show you. What happened here was, okay, this mask, Savini asked me not to show it to the people. Okay. To Adrian.
Because he wanted an actual reaction.
Maximize the impact. He wanted her to have the most effect. So he didn't want me to show Adrian the mask. So we would be having lunch and I'd be somewhere else. I remember I was actually off looking into the lake, like imagining what it would be like to be little Jason. And Kevin Bacon walked up.
Oh my God.
And he's all like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm getting into character, man." That was his reaction. He started laughing and he was like,
I've actually heard this before. I watched it on YouTube in an interview, and it is a legendary story. And he was like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
You're like, "I'm getting into character."
They thought it was fun. So yes, that did happen. So there you go. I was separated from everybody. So when she initially saw it, she kind of was startled, and that her balance was thrown off. So she felt herself falling into the water.
Okay.
And indeed, she fell into the water.
Oh, Lord.
It wasn't to say, you know, she's a great actress. She's a really good actress, because here she is after they dried her hair and everything. But then it looks like she doesn't even know that I'm there. But of course, she had just been startled to the point of me.
No, beyond belief, yeah.
Yeah. So Adrian is a great actress, and I always tell her.
So on take 2, that's when it finally happened.
Yes, and Sean was like, "Look, you only have, you know, that much time." So that meant that this frame was from the initial take, from the first take, where I jumped out like a crazy man.
Okay.
And that's what they used for that
so
second.
They mixed it together.
Right.
Okay.
So you see her out in the middle of the lake, and then the next scene, she's actually very close to the side of the lake, but you can't tell by the way you're framing it. So I'm able to kind of jump up out,
grab her.
But then there's this one moment, and it's just me, for about half a second. That's from the first take.
Nice.
So we kind of did it all together. Sean, knowing what he was doing, was like, "That I can use."
But he's a genius, and when he pieced that together, it looked amazing.
Yes, and also you got to give credit to Barry Abrams, who is the director of photography on Friday the 13th.
He
Real cool
did an
Texas
amazing
guy.
job.
Yes, I think especially on that final scene. I often feel like that final scene was like from another movie.
Yeah. I was 10 and I saw it. Never thought in a million years.
Yes.
I thought she was nice.
The audacity of it, in a way. It was almost like this was the safe place that we all agreed that before we go home, so we don't have a bad dream, so everything's okay.
And then boom.
Yes.
Well, Ari, it's been a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much. And be sure to check out this interview at FearsMan26 on YouTube, guys.
Jason never dies. Yeah.